Hello, I'm Nobby. Welcome to my workshop. There was a couple of extra tiny parts that I need to make for the boiler on the Ellie engine. These are going to be made out of a piece of 1/2 inch hex bar. So I thought I'd just bring you along while I make these parts. It's just a little bit of a simple turning and threading. So if you want to stick around, it's coming up just now. I'm doing some basic turning here on a piece of 1/2 inch hex bar. What I'm making is a second blanking off screw, which will go into one of the boiler bushes. One will be used on the boiler permanently to block off the filler cap. The other one will be required basically when boiler testing's done, so I can blank off one of the holes on the top of the boiler. The other one obviously will have some form of fixing for the tube from the boiler testing unit. Not quite sure how that's going to be done yet, but I'm just sort of basically making two of these. Although I just sort of show you this operation. So first, as usual, just face off the end of the bar here. It shouldn't take very much because this is has already been parted off, so it just needs a basic clean up. That's fine. So what I've got to do now is turn this part back for threading. It's going to be turned back to 3/16. Get that off so I can mark this out. Again, it's not a absolute exact measurement, really as near as possible, so I just mark that basically with a pencil so that I can put a witness mark on that first. Along, bring that into my marked position. Run that back. I'm just going to set this bit up. Again. Right, okay. I can just about see that mark. I've got to bring this down to a 1/4 inch for the 1/4 thread. That's it, okay. Right, so I'll turn a bit of this down and I'll bring you back when I'm sort of nearer to the correct diameter. Right, we're nearly to size. Just take another measurement here. About 10 thousandths to come off. So I'll set that. That should be it. Yep, that's pretty good. So what I need to do now is put the chamfer on the edge here for threading, and a chamfer on the edge here to break the edge of this hex bar as well. Check my depth on there again. It's yeah, 3/16, so that's great. Right, so on with the chamfer tool. Just a touch more. That's lovely, that's fine. So we're set up now to thread the end of this. I've got the die in my tailstock die holder. I don't need to make any undercut here because the part that this screws into, the boiler bushing, I've already drilled in here about, I think it was about 3 threads deep with a clearance drill, so that the bushing will screw straight into that, so no need for an undercut here at all. It's not required, and it may possibly need a copper washer in here anyway to give a good seal. Let's see if I can. That's it. Take that back now. Let's get the tailstock back out the way. A bit of brush. Clean the end of that off, and we'll just try the bushing on there. That's it, that's fine. So that it will screw right up to the shoulder there. So that will hopefully seal off. Not, I guess it may not seal off without a copper washer or a fibre washer or something in there. I have to check what is actually required there. So take that off. So all I need to do now is basically part this off to length, and then I can reverse it in the chuck and then just face the other side off and put a nice chamfer on the other side as well. Right, now just got to part this off. I'm going to use the for this I'll use the rear tool post to do this. Let's just square that up against the chuck. I'll also check that that's okay with a square as well. Lock that off. Let's bring that out and make sure I've got that. And that needs a little bit of adjustment there. That's it. That's it. Nice and tight. And bring that in. I just got to check what my measurement's going to be there as well. I've got to allow for the chamfer as well, so I've got that to the edge. That's it. Let's lock the carriage off, and we can park that off now. Run the speed of the motor down. Okay. Oop, bit too much. Gotta get past the hex shape first. Slowly does it. we're nearly there. Just that final little bit. That's it. So that's that bit done. Move the rear tool post round so it's out of harm's way. That's it. So what I can do now is remove the hex bar and then mount this in the other way around, so I can just face that off and put the chamfer on that as well. I've mounted that the opposite way around in the chuck, and you probably can't see it, but down here I put a bit of tin or aluminium foil actually round the thread just to protect the thread a bit. So the finish here is beautiful, but I want to get that little nubbing off the end there, so I'll just face that very, very gently off. Okay. Remove this tool and we'll put the chamfer tool on. I just have to be very careful here because I'm going to be very, very close to the chuck itself, so careful that I'm clear. Whoops. It didn't like that. Actually, pop that back in again, actually, if I can. It's the grabby brass. So I can hold that in. Oh, actually, there's the little bit of find it in a chip tray with a bit of soda can foil. Let's see if I can get that back in all right. Just need a tiny bit more. I think that's, yeah, that's okay. Not too bad a disaster. Let's take that off. And we can remove that little part now, and a bit of soda can. That's it. So that's the little part completed. So that's the one of the two that I've got, and that should screw right against the shoulder of that, because of the little clearance that the boiler bushings got. It's excellent. So that's that little job done, and there's our two little blanking off caps. Well, that's the little parts completed. I don't know if I can get these parts in focus. There's the two little blanking off caps that will go onto the boiler bushes. I've got one on the boiler bush there, and I've found a couple of little copper washers to go in here if that's the approved way of doing this. I'm not sure. I'll have to sort of check into that. So that's basically it. I did review the little bit of machining I did, and I apologise that some of it was slightly out of focus. I think what had happened is I just underneath the cutting tool, I put a piece of card to collect all the bits of brass swarf, and I think the camera was focusing on that all the time. It didn't focus on anything above, so you could hopefully see what I was doing, but I'm sorry about that. It just didn't work out quite the way I hoped it would. Anyway, well, thanks for joining me in the workshop again, and thanks again to all the subscribers and comments I'm getting, and I'll say cheerio for now and see you in the next one. Bye bye.